Anna Johnson put down her cup of unfinished tea and looked out the window of her cozy house in the suburbs of Boston. 50 years is a strange age when the past suddenly becomes as clear as yesterday, and the events of 30 years ago come back to mind with amazing clarity. Husband James went fishing with friends. The grown-up children have moved away. There was an unusual silence in the house, and her thoughts involuntarily turned to what she had tried not to think about for almost 3 decades. Anna remembered that year as a time of trials. She was 22, and she and James had been married for only 2 years. The young husband worked all day long, building a career in a law firm. Anna just graduated from college and got a job at a marketing agency. It was there that she met Michael Robertson, the creative director with a charming smile. Anna sighed, remembering how it all started innocently late-night meetings, brainstorming sessions over a cup of coffee, his sincere interest in her ideas. James seemed to have disappeared from her life at that time. He came home late, fell asleep with a folder of documents. Conversations have become rare and superficial, but Michael, on the contrary, listened, looked into the eyes, appreciated. The summer corporate party at the agency owner's country house has become a point of no return. Anna remembered everything: the champagne, the warm evening, Michael's hand on her waist during the dance, and how they ended up in an empty room on the second floor. The morning after brought not so much remorse as an intoxicating sense of novelty. Their relationship lasted 3 months, crazy, full of adrenaline and fear of exposure. Every stolen moment with Michael, lunch breaks in his car, work meetings at the cafe, rare evenings in his apartment when James was on a business trip. All these now seemed like scenes from someone else's life. There was more to their relationship than physical attraction. Michael saw her as a talented professional. He showed her another life, the world of art, jazz clubs, discussions about literature. But gradually cracks appeared. Michael became demanding, jealous of her husband, and insisted that she leave James. One day, he tracked them down in a restaurant and almost revealed their secret. And there was another blow waiting for her at home. James, noticing her aloofness, began to change. He started coming home earlier, offering to spend the weekend together. It embarrassed Anna, made her feel more guilty. And then fate intervened. A scandal broke out in James' company, and the company was on the verge of collapse. James came home confused. Everything he had worked for all these years could collapse. That night, for the first time in a long time, Anna saw in him a man in need of support. Anna remembered the day it all ended. Michael received a job offer in Los Angeles and accepted it without hesitation. For him, she realized then, their relationship was just a pleasant episode. That evening at home, James surprised her with tickets to Vermont, their first trip in a long time. His company went through a crisis, but this experience changed his priorities, and Anna suddenly realized the depth of her betrayal. In Vermont, she looked at her husband and saw a man who, despite his mistakes, loved her. Then she swore to herself that she would never betray his trust again. Getting back to normal wasn't easy. Anna quit the agency. For months, she had panic attacks, waking up in the middle of the night in fear that James would find out the truth. But gradually, life got better. Children were born, Matthew and Sarah. James became a partner in a new firm, which allowed him to spend more time at home. Anna opened her own agency. Their marriage grew stronger, overcoming a crisis that James did not even know about. 12 years later, fate took an unexpected turn. Sarah enrolled in an art school in Los Angeles. At a parent-teacher meeting, Anna ran into Michael. His son studied at the same school. It was a scene worthy of a novel. Former lovers, each with his own family, barely hiding the shock of meeting. In the following months, their families periodically crossed paths. Every meeting was a test for Anna. One day, after a school play, Michael took her aside. "Are you happy, Anna?" "What is it?" he asked softly. "Yes," she answered honestly. Then there was a crisis in their relationship with James when the children grew up. They almost got divorced after 25 years of marriage. Anna even thought about finding Michael to see if there was anything left of their feelings. But instead, she and James turned to a family therapist who helped them get to know each other again. 5 years ago, at a conference in Chicago, she met Michael again. They drank coffee and politely exchanged news. They didn't say a word about the past, although it was invisibly present between them. Saying goodbye, he suddenly took her hand. "Do you know what I've learned over the years? We met too soon. Neither you nor I were ready for the present. Perhaps in another life." At that moment, she felt both relief and heaviness, as if a door that she had secretly kept ajar all these years was closing. When Anna returned home, she looked at James sleeping for a long time. That night, she made the final decision never to tell him the truth. Not out of fear or selfishness, but out of love. A strange love that grew out of guilt and turned into something deep and real. Now, sitting at the window of her house, Anna thought that long-ago choice, to return to her husband with all her soul, was the most difficult and the most correct in her life. Cheating became a part of her story, a scar on her heart, a reminder of how easy it is to lose what is really important. Recently, daughter Sarah announced that she is expecting a baby. Anna was preparing to become a grandmother, to move into a new phase of life. She knew that it was her mistakes that made her the way she is capable of loving imperfectly but faithfully. The sound of the phone interrupted the flow of memories. James called to let them know that they were coming back earlier. The bite didn't go well. Anna smiled, listening to his grumbling. There was weariness in his voice, but also a constant tenderness that the years had not been able to erase. "I'll make your favorite apple pie for dinner," she promised. And in her voice was the love of a woman who has learned the price of her mistakes. The past was in the past, and the present needed her attention right now.